Okay, guys. Thank you for joining in on this channel, and this will be the part two for the automation we've done for the inventory, how the inventory was created. Now I want to start for the automation. So I'll be showing you the workflow of what we'll be doing. So like I mentioned earlier in the introduction video, I said I will be doing three things, which would be for the threshold alert, that means the restock alert. We'll be doing for customers review, and we'll be doing for the summary of the sales for that day. So I just recently filled the form, just like we created this um, in the previous video that you click on the sales link in the image. Let me show you from the gallery here. All I just did was click on this sales image and it took me to the form. So I filled the form, and today is 16th, which is when I did this video. And then as you can see here, this is the one I did today. I just did it recently here, and that is it, which is filled up already. So I will be doing the first one. So the first one is the restock level. Let me show you how it looks like on n8n. So okay, so this is the restock level, and I'll show you how it work for that. So that means you get an alert if there is a restock level. Let me show you the Gmail account so you'll know that it is okay. So now um the first thing is we want to check the threshold level, which I told it to run 9 a.m. every day. So by 9 a.m. every day, it should check and give a report. So by 9 a.m., it runs every day by 9 a.m. So the next thing you need to do is to search Airtable. We want to search Airtable each day, and the table we'll be using will be the inventory. No, we're searching the inventory. The inventory table is where the inventory table come in. Let me go back to so yeah, the inventory table is where we have the stock level and the reorder level. So that's where we want to check. So we'll have to check if the stock level is lesser or equal to the reorder level, then we'll be able to give which product actually needs to restock. We need to restock it. So back to n8n. So the next thing we'll do is to put in our access token. You can get the access token from your n8n from your Airtable. I explained it in one of my videos how to do that. So I don't really want to waste much time because of that. So after you are done with that and it showed successful, you click on record, and then the operation you want to do is search. You want to search for that operation, which is the inventory. We want to search that, okay, which of these products or which of these items is below. So we're searching, we're not updating, we're not creating a record, we're searching to know if it's there or not. So that is the reason why we chose search instead of creating. We're not creating, we're not updating, we're not deleting, we're not getting any information. We just want to search. So the next thing is we'll be choosing our fashion, which is the base. And from the list, we have three tables. We have inventory table, sales, and suppliers. So we'll be using the inventory table. And I could have said filter, but I'm not filtering anything because I want everything on the table to check. I'm not trying to look for a specific. I want everything on the table to appear. Well, that's why I did not put any filter formula there, because I want everything to there. So it will bring out everything that's on that table for me. And the next thing I'll do is to now get the record. So the way I want to get the record is through the ID. That is how I want to. Each table has their own different ID. So the way for me to get the record is through the ID. Without the record ID, I can't access each of these things. So the way I could get the ID is from the search. You have to first search for it, then get each search has its own ID. So you get the ID from there. So record, the operation is get. The same thing we followed again. Like I said before, we're not trying to now get, what, before we've searched that, okay, this is the record that we want, audio record. Now we now want to get that record from that table. So we have the fashion, and the way we can do it is through the record ID. So that is the best. As you can see here, the requirement is the record ID, and the best way to get the record ID is from this ID here. So you just drag it and drag and drop to get your ID. That was how I did it here. And then by the time I execute the whole step, it brings out everything that is with the ID. And then I said, um, and I put an if command. So if the stock level is less than or equal to the other level, continue the flow in this direction, and if not, don't do anything. So that was the if condition I put for it. So if the stock level, like I said before, for us to send an email to the manager, the stock level has to be lesser or equal to the other level. That is the best way for us to do it. So which I did here. As you can see, we already have 4 items already. So now only one item went to the true band. Three, that means only one item could be found, or one product could be found that went that it's lesser or equal to the threshold level. As you can see, we got 4 items from table, which we have 4 products in the inventory. So those are the 4 products. Then if and then that was how we were able to get the item. So as I'll send a message. I put okay for us to be able to do this. It's not actually complicated. You just log in your Gmail account. You can sign in. Then message we are sending. The operation is send. We're not deleting. We're not updating. We're sending. But there are different things you can get. You can mark as read. You can reply. But we're sending information. So this Gmail. That was the one I chose. And then the product we stock. Sorry, I put the subject as product we stock, and I put the image style as HTML. But it's easier for me to design it. So you can just use ChatGPT to actually design how you want your template to look like. I use ChatGPT to generate. Okay, this is what I want the thing should look like. This is what I want it to say. Then generate an HTML format based on this thing, and to was able to help me do it. So I've sent it. So let's look at how it looks like in the Gmail. So as you can see, this is the email that I just entered now, and it's 144. She just entered now, and this is how it looks like. Products restock alert. Hello, Mr. Daniel. The following products are falling off below the weather threshold as of June 16, 2025. 140. Please review and arrange for replenishment. And this is the SKU, the name, the color, the size, the stock level, and the treasure. As you can see, the stock level is lesser than the other level, and that was why I brought it out. So this was just the design I used for it. Like I said before, you can use whichever design you want. You just tell ChatGPT to help you put it in an HTML format, and that will work for it. So that is it for the stock alert. The next one is the summary for that day. I know this was where I had a struggle with, because I had to use code. I could have used the best way for me to have actually done it is because I did not just want. I've not bought token yet for an agent to help me with it, an AI agent to help me with it. But if you have enough for it, that's the best. And instead of using code or anything, you just tell the agent to give you a summary for that day. There's a search for it on the Airtable. It already has the so they already have the linkage to your Airtable, so you just tell it to help you give you a summary of the sales for that day, which is way easier. But I know if you're using code, you need to make sure that everything is bringing it out in the right format, which was where I know it took me like a little bit time trying to get the right format and all that, going all back and forth with ChatGPT. So I would not really dive in this code level because it's quite complicated here. I'll just show you how it comes out. But if you want to use code, so then you can just put some ChatGPT if you write code for how you want it to come out. So the first thing we have is the trigger. That one too should trigger every day by 11 p.m. So it sends to the manager every day by 11 p.m. Then after that, we now use the same thing, search record. So it's going to search, and what we are filtering is for that day. We want the sales for that day. So the filter by formula is the same thing we did in the previous one, but this time we want it to filter based on that day. We only want for that day record. Not before we did not use any filter because we wanted it just all the days. So now we want it for that specific day. You should only filter for search for the record for that specific day. So once that is done, yeah, once that is done, we now move to the code. As you can see, we only have one item. That was because we only made one sales today, so we only had one item for it, and that was how we were able to do it. And I used, in the list here before, we used for this table, we used inventory, but because we're looking at the sales now, so we're changing it to the sales transaction. That's the difference between that one and this, because we're looking at sales instead of inventory. And then the code part, like I said, this was where I had to write. May actually say, okay, I had to derive, or if you want, you could actually post it on in it, send it when I'm editing the video down below in different, like I could actually put it down for you guys to go through it if you want. I'll add it with the other one, so that will just make it to, I'll put it in like a format, a doc format, so it will be easier for you guys to actually go to. So this is how it looks like, and then we execute the step. So it has given us a summary, and now is the next thing is for us to send it through the email. And the way we set the email is the same format actually. We just daily summary for, and we use the drag and drop for it. So in HTML format, you just make sure that it's substituted where you're supposed to substitute the this came for where it's supposed to be. So I'm sure it's something that you probably have an idea. So let's say for example now, as you can see, daily summary for, all I did was drag and drop summary date. I drag the summary date here, so it's daily summary for 2025 6/15. So that was as of 11 p.m. So basically you just input it where you're supposed to input your drag and drop, and that's it. So let's check the email that I just did to see if it's still there. Yeah, as you can see, daily summary for 2025 as of 16. And this is how it looks like. Sales summary for total orders is 1, total revenue is 120, total items sold 3. The reason why this is calculating based on total quantity, because when I was doing the sales then I said I chose floor address for 3. That means 3 floor address. So and unit price is $40. So that is 40 times 3, that is 120. So the item sold is 3, and which of the items former sum address 3, and that's how it looks like for the summary. And the manager gets it every day by 11 p.m. every day. So you don't need to call and find out, oh, what did you sell today? It gives you that every day. So the next one is the one for the customer review, which let me show you how it looks like. So yeah, I deactivated this one because I found out that it was not really necessary there. So I'll just go straight to the main thing. So the way I did this was I made sure that the I set the automation in a way that it should actually send the mail to the customer every day, 2 days after they've placed they've bought the product. That means 2 days after they've bought the product. That is when this flow should activate. That means you should send this mail to this person. And how do we do that? So that means every day by 9 a.m. at 9 p.m. every night. It could be anytime. I could set 9 a.m. I could set 9 p.m. So the time doesn't matter. It's just based on because I was doing a tutorial video. So it can be, but I set it at 9 p.m. every night. That's when you should check the table to know who bought product 2 days ago. So now we're searching the record. We want to know um, after you assess your token. Now we're searching inventory sales. We are using sales. Then we filter by formula. The filter by formula is to know. This was the same transaction dates. Actually, I used ChatGPT just to give me. I did not want it to waste too much time. So this was how the format came out for 2 days. As you can see, minus 2 days, which was how it came out. So I wanted to search for the date of 2 days ago. So that means we're using transaction dates. Remember, I saved my um, inventory as transaction date. As you can see, transaction date. So that means you should search for transaction dates of the dates. That means 2 days ago transaction date. That was all I set in this filter by formula. So you should search for that based on. So if you are looking for, if you want it to be 3 days, you change this to your -2 to -3. As you can see, did added today, then -2 days, then yes, and that was how I was able to do that. So you should just pick the day of 2 days ago, which let me say, okay, that means there was no sales 2 days ago. Let me check. Today is 16. So let me check. Let me check. That should be 14. There's no 14 today, so that means, so let me just quickly change the one for today to 14 so that it be to be easier. So we'll just look at how it looks like. So we'll just change it to 14. So as you can see, we'll just change it to 14, and then let's do the thing again. Let's do the automation again. So let's try it again. So yeah, okay, so yeah, that was basic. So let me go back to, so after searching for it, it brought out there was an issue, so I had to do it again. Um, it brought out an item This is one before it was bringing out because I created a record in Airtable before, which when I clicked on the table, I thought tapped it twice, so it brought out another ID, which the other sections were not filled. So put out an error. So I went to go and delete it. That's what I went to do now. So now that that is done, we will not send an email, even though I've sent it before. But like when I was um, why the thing showed error then? So but let me just do it again. So and yep, this is it. So as you can see, here's how it is. Hello Phoebe John. We hope you are enjoying your recent purchase from our store. Here's a quick recap of what you bought. So what Phoebe bought was flower summer dress. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the item. Your feedback helps us improve our product and service. Direction ID is blah 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 blah. Blah. Please click on the button below to clear us away. And so your customer ID say you want it to type it. So this is how I created it. Like I said, HTML format. Just your ability to create it in HTML format. And the way I did it is that I preferred my form. That means just form. I would not really go into much detail on that because it's another different process. I preferred. You can check out how to prefer forms. I preferred my form in a way that each time someone clicks on this link, their transaction ID, which is more like their unique ID, will appear on the form. So it will be easier for me to actually identify, or it will go straight into the customer review in the sales transaction. So let's click on share your feedback. So this is how it looks like. Man, as I created the form, just a sharpie. Like I did not really want to waste time. So I just did this list of form using jet form. So let's go back to this. Now the second one is once the form is filled, then you should search. It should update the thing on Airtable. So I want to trigger out the and then let's say lovely product and then submit. So if we go back to coming, okay. Okay, we submitted the form now, and let's see how it looks like on the tip. So yeah, as you can see, with this the reason why I had to put execute step is because um, um, it's not active. The what is it called? The automation is not active yet. So once it becomes active, you don't need to actually put execute step every time you want to do it because of our still in the test running phase. So this time before the forms comes, I have to make sure I click on execute step before it runs. So as you can see, this is the transaction ID, and this is the what I just filled. That is lovely product. So now the next phase will be the Airtable, which basically what I just needed to do is match. So we're going to update the record. We're updating the sales record. So from lists, sales transaction, the table want to update the sales transaction, and then what we're using to match, what we want to match it with, is transaction ID. So and then what I'm using, like all I do is to just drag this transaction ID to this place here, because that's what we're using to match. So we want to match it. So once this transaction ID matches any table there on the sales record, as you can see, this is the transaction ID here. So it searches transaction ID to know, okay, which one matches the one that we just filled. So if it matches, then it goes straight to the customer review slots. Coming, yeah, as you can see, we just go straight to the customer review slots and then input that part there. So let's continue the flow. So the customer review, what's the customer review? All I did was drag and drop the customer review. So I just dragged it down here, and that was, and for the transaction ID is what we're using to match it. So I drag the transaction ID. Like I said, we're updating the record. The record is already there. All just need is update the record, and then we execute step. So and that's it. So now let's go back to our workflow. Remember, it was on the 14th we did. So let's check. As you can see here, we have it here now. Lovely product. So that means the customer has dropped the review for that. And once the automation becomes active, you don't need to do anything. The reason why you see me, I'm clicking execute it because it's not active yet. Once I make sure that you're active, everything runs on its own, so you don't need to do anything. And that's the main point for the automation parts, different from the Airtable. So if there's any question you have, or you feel like maybe there's some things you don't understand, you can let me know in the comment section. Like I said before too, if you have the token, I'll prefer you actually go straight for agent for the summary. It's way better than that than using code. Not the point, but if you decide you want to use code, then you just tell ChatGPT to help you compose how you want the code to look like, and to give it to you. It might just say a little bit of tweaking because you have to do, oh, you did not do it well. Okay, you did this part well, now add this part to it, that kind of thing. So it might take a little bit longer time for you to do it, and you get your desired result as time. You just need to be patient with the whole setup. And also, thank you very much for your time in watching this video. And if you have any question, like I said, put it in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe, as we'll have more videos coming in on that. So do have a lovely day. Bye.